What is up, True Crime World? You're here with Luminol on the Wall. I'm Becky.
And I'm Bevy. And hello to my sister.
Yeah, hey, Bev.
You've been so busy recently.
You are correct.
I know, and I just haven't seen you. Well, I have, but like not as much as I'd like to, you know?
Which is unreal because I saw you 2 days this week.
Yeah.
You know, sacrificed my sleep just for you.
I would like to say, add a caveat to that, is like not just for me, because...
It's also for your baby.
No, because you wanted a massage and I was giving you one.
I mean, okay, I did stay a little later because of that, yeah.
Yeah.
Also...
Slight caveat.
Slight, but I probably would have stayed there anyways. That was just what we did.
Yeah, it's true.
And pretty sure you scraped a layer of skin off of my back with that.
With my elbow?
Yeah. Like the shirt is just like rough enough that I was like the next couple days I'm like, oh God, my skin. It's not like, you know, when you get a deep tissue massage, you're like sometimes a little sort of touch if it's been a while. But
yeah.
No, it literally felt like my skin was like ripping every time I put a bra on.
Nice.
But did my muscles feel good? Yes. So I still thank you, and it was worth it.
Yeah. Well, obviously we've just really gotten right into our sister chat, but I do have to say one thing, and that was I warned you that my thumbs were weak. I warned you. You went ahead with the massage anyways.
I
Knowing
did.
that all I could do was use my elbow and that I scrape bones apparently and can't find knots in people's backs.
Like, okay, just so if we have some new listeners, you know that I am like a registered massage therapist, Becky.
Yes,
Me, Becky.
Becky is, yes.
And have been for like, what, 15 years.
Long motherfucking time.
Right. So I'm sitting there and Beth got her wonderful little elbow. She is like on my spine and I'm sitting there like thinking, surely she feels that. She's going to just, you know, slide her elbow like to the right or left by even like a centimeter and it will be fine. And no, it does not stop. And so I said, Bevy, I think that's the bone. And she says, no. I was like, yeah, it's the bone. And she's like, really?
Becky's so sweet about it, though. She's like, I think that's my spine.
I was like dying inside.
No way. Yeah.
Bev was like so shocked she was on
like,
the spine.
Well, I just thought, oh, when Craig tells me that I'm on his bones and I don't believe him, maybe I should.
You're like, oh, this is a problem. Bev's like, is that not a knot?
Yeah, that right there.
No. Bone.
Nope. Bone.
But you know what?
I tried my best.
You did. And that's why I was nice. And 2, I needed it. So I was willing to just, you know, direct you in the right direction off my spine. Yeah.
Yes.
So.
But you and Craig both have like those like tight backs that are hard to like even like dig into, you know? It's almost like leather.
Well, okay.
Tough.
Okay. But my skin is soft, just so everyone knows. Just feels dense like leather for Beth. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, this weekend, I got to go to a wedding. Our close friends were getting married. Yay.
Woo-hoo.
And I had the grandparents come watch Coulson and quickly found out that he is on a bottle strike. Didn't know that. Typically, I exclusively breastfeed him. But yeah, my first time out in like months. And find out that I have to, he rejected the bottle. I had to keep coming back home. Thank God the wedding was close enough that I could. But yeah, I had to keep coming home. And actually why I mentioned this wedding thing, when I had a blast, I was actually able to have like 1 or 2 drinks throughout the night. And it was lovely. But I actually say this because the person in today's case reminds me of my girlfriend who got married and what everyone at the wedding said about her and what I know to be true about her as well. She's just this like extremely witty, like funny, like everyone was like, she is the funniest person we know. And I would agree, like her wit is unmatched by anyone I've ever met. And it's not just that she's witty, she's like really quick with her wit. And she just always says the funniest shit ever. And then not only that, but she's also like a friend to everyone. Like the kindest, most inclusive person you'll ever meet. Like everyone who meets her feels like they're just super close with her. And they would be right. Like she treats everyone like, they're just like her close friends. And that's just who she is. So caring and compassionate. And the person in this case had similar things said about him. So just thought I'd bring that up.
Oh, yes, your good friend S-Dog.
S-Dog. Steph. Yeah.
That's terrible. Yeah, Steph. S-Dog.
Yeah. So anyways.
Interesting.
With that being said, we should probably just get into the case. What do you think? Unless you have some like crazy amazing thing to tell me or like something that will make me laugh.
Oh.
Then
I do have something that will make you laugh. Okay, so while I was waiting to actually podcast with you.
Yeah.
I was upstairs just chatting with Jamie, just waiting for your text. And I decided I was going to stretch. So I literally just bent over, tried to touch my toes, let my head hang, just ease some tension.
Yeah.
Jamie, like classic guy, walks up to me, literally, balls to the head.
Oh.
With pants on. To be clear, it was like mostly PG. I've done everyone not do that with their partners. They do. Anyways, he like does that. Then he flops over my back, grabs like the back of my legs, and he tries to jump on me. like airplane across my back.
Okay,
He's
sure.
thinking she's gonna catch me. No. He like the like force that he used, it was like it pushed me back, like because he tried to jump, so he nudged me backwards, and then I tried to overcorrect and go forward, and I wasn't able to steady myself. And so we like completely tipped over. I literally just like tried to shift my butt so he wouldn't go face into the ground or the table, and yeah, so I just literally smushed his face into the couch. But it was absolutely outrageous. His face. And then he like landed on my hair, so I couldn't sit up, but I was like on top of him.
Nice.
But he was on my hair, so every time he tried to push up, it was like, my hair. It was outrageous.
I honestly initially had thought you were kind of gonna go in like the direction of a soft porn. Like, you're like balls to the face. He reaches around my backside, and I was like, oh, good dear God, Becky, what are you saying? Like, stop. I was literally like, how is she saying this right now?
To be honest, that would be so out of character for me.
I know, that's why I was literally like, what is going on? And then it didn't go there, thankfully.
Yeah.
Don't need to hear that myself.
You wouldn't share it, that's for sure.
But yeah, pretty funny. Gotta say, Jamie surprises me.
He's very stoic a lot of times. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you tell me stories about him like humping your head. I'm like, okay. Weird. I felt like it was like the equivalent of girls like poking the boys' bum holes as they walk up the stairs.
Yeah. It's kind of like that.
It's kind of like that.
Everyone does it at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, why do we do these weird things with our partners?
I don't know. But everyone does some.
It's so true. If you don't, you're a fibber, okay? We call BS on you.
Yeah. It might not be these exact examples, but like you have your thing and you know it.
Yeah. And it's kind of freaky. We're all little freaks. Little freak.
No matter which way you slice it.
That's right. All right. Let's stop the freaky freak talk and let's get into our case.
What is that little like video? It's like, I've been a nasty girl. I've been a nasty, nasty girl. Who's gonna match my freak?
Yeah. I've been a nasty girl. Yeah, I know. I sounded really creepy.
You know the video.
Said that. Yeah, I do. I was more so thinking like Nicki Minaj, a little freak. Myself.
Oh, yeah?
But I like your example, too. I think it's Nicki Minaj. God. Pretty sure it's Nicki Minaj. Anyways, let's move on from our freaky freaking nasty talk and let's get into the case.
Okay.
So today's case is about a guy named Aaron William Davis, and he was from Cumming, Georgia, although his story began elsewhere, because he was actually born in Rhode Island on December 5th, 2000, raised in Massachusetts, and in 2011, his family then moved south to Georgia. So Aaron graduated from North Forsyth High School, where classmates remembered him as outgoing and friendly. Family and friends described Aaron as a light, witty, kind-hearted, and inclusive. His father once said Aaron had the ability to be a friend to those that maybe didn't always have a friend. He was never Mr. Popularity, but he was Mr. Everyman, which is such a wonderful sentiment.
Yeah, he can probably talk to
and
anyone.
Makes people feel like they matter, like people who might not make friends easily, to include them. I don't know. I think that's a skill in and of itself. There's so much judgment that goes on in the world and so much clickiness at times that to meet someone that doesn't do those things.
Yeah, hence
my friend
your
Steph.
friend
It's just
Steph.
like a light in the world. I like it.
For sure.
One of his close friends that actually knew him through church also described him as the funniest person in any room, one of the smartest, also saying that he was so radically kind and always a gentleman. So he had a good reputation. After high school, Aaron attended Brigham Young University in Idaho, and this was a faith-based school where he earned his bachelor's degree in political science. Kind of interesting tidbit on me, I actually got my undergrad from a faith-based school as well, and I definitely had some Christian classes that I had to take, like Intro to the Bible, which I loved, by the way. But yeah, but my degree is in behavioral sciences. Interesting.
That is interesting.
So, in July of 2022, he walked in the graduation ceremony and completed a semester-long legal internship in North Carolina. He then went on to pass the GACE exam, which is the Georgia Assessments for the Certification of Educators. And he was just preparing to enroll in a master's program so he could become a high school civics teacher.
As we know in Alberta, teachers are very important.
Yeah.
Well, they're important everywhere. Sorry. Right now, we're going through a major possible teacher strike and negotiation. So I'm just like, bring more teachers.
Yeah, they're so necessary, right?
We need all the teachers in the world.
100%. They need, and it's a hard job right now. Like, I have some friends who are teachers, and it is tough. Like, the classroom sizes are getting really big. There's a lack of support, which is obviously why they're striking and they're underpaid. But yeah, they're important and they should be valued.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Agreed, Bevy.
So, I don't even know what a civics teacher is, Becky.
Thank God for Aaron. Not a clue. I had the thought, what is a civics teacher? As I was like reading, I'm like,
Forgot.
And then I didn't look it up. Yeah, I just forgot. I was like, yeah.
We didn't have civics. Teacher. Like, I never took a civics class, hey?
Maybe we did.
Well, maybe
we don't even know what it means.
But it was never called a civics. Like, who knows? Either way.
No. Okay, Bev,
okay,
we need to look first.
Because for those of us who don't know, surely you guys are interested too, right? Like,
and those who do know are probably just like, shut up, Becky and Bevy.
Yeah, we did not know anything. God. Tina, you fat lord.
What is that? Where is that from? Oh, Napoleon Dynamite?
Oh my God, I just said Tina. So I'm reminded of Bob's Burgers. And did you know that so many of like the women characters in Bob's Burgers are played by men? Or like voice acted by men?
I mean, I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know that, but...
It kind of makes sense. Yeah, totally.
That makes sense. Yeah. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, I do.
All right, you want to know?
You
want to know? Okay, this is from AI. And remember what happened like 30 podcasts ago when it gave me a complete bullshit answer? So just... That's what's coming up first, and I don't care to look any further. Civics class teaches students about citizenship, including their rights and responsibilities, how government systems work, and how to participate in democratic processes to make informed decisions about civic matters.
Oh my God, we should have known that. We're so dumb. Okay, well, anyways, great. Love that.
That's kind of like our social studies.
Is. I was actually I was thinking that.
So, yes. We do learn that stuff over
we
here in Canada.
It just wasn't called that.
Yeah.
Okay, so pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Now, that was
Sorry.
kind of his professional stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
But at home, Aaron was the second oldest of 5 siblings, and his parents often leaned on their faith to carry them through. His father explained that Aaron had been the glue in their family dynamic, someone who had a special bond with each member of the family. Like you, Becky.
I am the Aaron of our
Yeah,
family.
you're the glue, baby.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Now, in 2022, the same year he graduates, Aaron was engaged to his high school sweetheart, Charlie Girl Skellinger. And on November 10th of that year, Aaron made plans to drive to Alabama to see her. But on the way there, he had made plans to see his longtime friend, Brandon Risner. The two had known each other since childhood, growing up in the same Latter-day Saints church community in Cumming, Georgia, and even attending North Forsyth High School together. The two became close in junior high, and Brandon was often at the Davis home, sometimes staying overnight. Aaron's father later remarked, Brandon was like our son as well. I'm sure we've all had a friend like that, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Basically becomes part of the family.
That's right.
Now, both of these guys eventually attended BYU, Idaho, though they attended at different times. Brandon had studied there for 1 semester in the fall of 2021, and Aaron, as we know, graduated in the summer of 2022. In short, these two people were more than just friends. They're basically like brothers, bonded by years of church activities, school, and shared milestones, which makes what happened that November all the more unthinkable. So, on November 10th, 2022, the night in question, Aaron arrives at Brandon's family home. The two went to an outdoor beer garden. Now, Aaron wasn't a big drinker, but Brandon ordered beers for them, and they hung out for a while before heading back to Brandon's house. There, they ended up drinking some wine and sang karaoke. Just after midnight, Aaron went to bed in an upstairs guest room. A little while later, Aaron's fiancée loses contact with him. His phone was suddenly off, and Brandon texted her saying that Aaron was safe, that his phone battery had died, and that she'd see him Saturday. However, that Saturday would never come. Aaron failed to arrive, and when he failed to arrive, Charlie Girl reached out to his parents. She was worried. And when she did, his parents then contacted police in Rome, the city that Brandon lived. Now, the police kind of already had some information regarding this call because late Friday night on November 11th, Rome police located Aaron's car in a shallow ditch behind a levee at Heritage Park. The car had been left in neutral, as though it was pushed or rolled off the road. There were no brake or acceleration marks, but there was no sign of Aaron either. And eventually, the car was towed out of the levee. After seeing the abandoned car and learning of Aaron's plans that weekend, they knew they needed to go see the last person to have been with Aaron, Brandon Risner. They first gave him a phone call, and Brandon told the police he was also looking for Aaron. He told the officer that he heard Aaron was at Heritage Park, and so he was there currently looking for him. Brandon asked if they knew where Aaron's car was. He also told the officer that they had been drinking. Then, eventually, Aaron wasn't feeling well and began puking and asked to be left alone. Brandon said he had woken up around 1 or 2 a.m. and found out that Aaron was missing.
What an interesting question, though. Like, did you find the
car there?
That is
a very interesting question, Becky.
Like, to me, my first question would be like, have you found my friend?
Yeah, not the car, right? It almost feels as though he's trying to gain information. Like, have you figured out what I did? Have you figured out where I put the car? Can you just tell me that, please? Like, that's almost what it feels like.
Yeah, let me know.
You know?
Yeah.
I'd be shocked to find out that it wasn't. But yeah, peculiar to say the least. So, a few hours after speaking with Brandon, the police then unexpectedly show up at Brandon Risner's home on Collingwood Road. The officers speak to Brandon, And he explained after Aaron went upstairs to be sick, he had come downstairs and dropped a bottle of red wine and cut his finger pretty bad. He said that when he woke up, the cut was bad enough to go to urgent care to be treated, and that was where he was all morning.
Let me just offer up this information about a wound on my hand out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, that is so messed up.
Like, I feel like he's over-explaining a little bit. Like, they probably didn't even see the cut yet.
Totally. You know, when people lie or make stuff up, they over-explain, as we experienced last week when you asked me to make that random, like, explanation for, you know, for why...
the scenario.
Yeah, for the scenario. And I was, like, over-explaining the crap out of it. I was like, wow, definitely felt like I was over-explaining. It's like word vomit, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You're vomiting.
That's what it's like with...
Your words be vomiting. Your words are ill. Not doing great for you. Not making you look good. They're making you look guilty as hell. Like, he's just like, this is the explanation for my cut. And this is why I could not be found that morning. Although, shouldn't
I was at
urgent care have records? So, we'll see how that all plays out. But I'm sure their spidey senses are tingling with Brandon's story, because it's just not sitting right with no one.
No way is it.
So after hearing this, the police ask if they could search the house, and Brandon agrees. And what was intriguing was that several doors were locked as they searched the home, including the bedroom that Aaron had been staying in.
No one does that. That's not a thing.
Well, if he goes missing...
No one just locks random doors in a house.
I mean, maybe, but like, he went missing, so he would have had to lock the door after he found out his friend went missing. Like, it's just a weird step that you would take given this situation.
Mm-hmm. Exactly,
especially after, you know, spending all morning in urgent care. Anyways, so obviously the police are like, they need to see this room. So they called Brandon in to show them the space. And when he did, the police noticed a strong chemical smell in the room. There was an abnormal amount of cleaning supplies, which Brandon explained that he used it to clean the puke. However, when they look in the room,
that's logical, Bev.
I mean, it is kind of, actually.
Yes. That is the one thing I'll give him in that moment. That's logical.
But that being said, when they look in the room, they see puddles of blood next to the bed and splatters all over the walls. And at this point, Brandon was becoming pretty uncomfortable and most likely knew what the police were seeing, and he decides to make a break for it. He took off on foot, Becky. Officers chased him, but he was too fast and did end up getting away.
Also, I've seen actually the body cam footage of him leaving.
Yeah.
He's very stealthy.
Is he?
And this guy, yeah. And he's also, I don't know exactly how tall, but he's like towering over every single police officer. So he's a tall mofo. Like, he's so tall. He ran so fast. Like, the cop, there was no chance in hell he was even catching up to him. I was like, damn.
Wow.
It was pretty funny, actually. Not in a good way, but like, he was just so stealthy. You almost like don't even notice what he's doing, and else, and he's gone.
Wow. That's crazy, though. Like, that is insane to just bolt. Like, if you didn't look...
Very bold.
If you didn't look guilty with all the bullshit you were making up before, like, now for sure, like, you are. We know what you did now.
You are.
Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
The secret's out, guys. Okay, but like, honestly, at this point, we have to, like, I cannot wait to hear what happens next, because we obviously know how close the two were. So, like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah. What happened?
So, detectives obviously have lost their suspect, and they start canvassing the neighborhood, and they come across one woman who happened to be on the phone with Brandon's father, Jeremy. And so police asked to speak to Brandon's dad. And when they speak with Jeremy, he tells them that him and his wife were an hour away, and they also were not able to get a hold of Brandon. They were aware that Aaron was missing, and earlier they had told Brandon to go and check the areas they would normally hang out. And obviously, when Brandon's parents finally arrive home, they do speak with officers and were fully cooperative. Now, Jeremy, Brandon's dad, when he got home, he actually found Brandon's phone. And he calls to speak with the police again, but this time his demeanor had completely changed. He refused to give the officers the phone until there were more answers. And just a few hours after that, Jeremy then calls the police again and lets them know that he is now with Brandon and that they were going to come down to the station and Brandon would turn himself in. And 25 minutes later, that is exactly what they did, Becky. And when they arrived at the police station, they separated Brandon from his parents. Smart move. And at the same time, Brandon's dad quickly said to the officers while he was crying, "You need to send somebody out to find the body." Jeremy then gave his son a huge hug, and that was it. He was taken back to an interview room where he immediately asked for a lawyer. And as we know, this obviously halts the interview. But if that interaction is not ominous enough, like, wow, what did Jeremy find on that phone?
Yeah, because at that point, he's the only one that knows.
Yeah.
But again, actually, this case is quite incredible. One, because it happened so fast. And two, there's body cam footage, like if you go onto YouTube, of it all. It is so crazy. I actually almost cried, though, watching Jeremy. So there's a police officer. When they enter the police station, they go up an elevator to whatever floor they need. And the whole time, Jeremy just has his hand on his son's shoulder, on Brandon's shoulder. And you can tell the dad, like, Jeremy's so distraught. Like, what a fucking conflict of emotion. It's like, your son just did something so terrible.
And you know
and you are bringing him to the police station. And yeah, you know.
What? Like, you're going to lose your son.
And you can just tell he's like, yeah, like, what a horrible feeling. Because, like, it's your son. You still love your son.
Yeah.
It was actually, like, I know this is kind of weird to say because Brandon did something so terrible. But seeing his parents' emotions while this is all going on, they're just, like, in a state of shock. But, like, so sad and, like, just, it's so uncertain at this point what's going to happen. It's heartbreaking, Bev.
Yeah, I could only imagine. Well,
like,
you're
watching his dad cry. I was just like,
yeah.
Ugh.
You're watching two parents kind of accepting that they're going to lose their son. And isn't it crazy to just know that what you're seeing in that moment, like, it's like so much worse for the parents of the victim?
Oh, like
it's just how emotional or how it's hard to see Brandon's parents get that emotional. Like, every person we talk about on this podcast who gets murdered, like, one of their loved ones has to feel that times, like, so much. I just can't.
Oh, yeah.
I think sometimes it's easy to kind of, like, detach from what's actually occurring in a lot of these podcasts because you read a script, you kind of go over the story, you learn about it. But then when you see, like, the real-time emotions of people, it just reminds you how real these things are and how intense, like, what is happening is, like, how just horrific it really is.
For sure. And also the fact that it's not like, okay, so he killed Aaron and that is the hugest travesty in all of this. Yeah. But how many other people he is hurting? Like, you do forget about that because we don't know these people personally. So sometimes it's not like we forget, but you don't often get to see that raw emotion on film, and seeing that is so heartbreaking. Like, if anyone wants, like, a tearjerker, go watch it.
Yeah.
It is. It's sad. I just can't.
As a parent now, I really do understand it. Like, losing your child, I just can't. And losing them, like, physically, never to be seen again, or losing them in, like, spirit almost, because they're going away for the rest of their life, right? Mm-hmm. Like, they're just getting ripped away from you in some aspect or another, and that's just, I don't think it's something any parent should have to endure, honestly.
No.
Ugh. Oh, God. Okay, so let's reel it back in, and let's get back to what's going on in this case. Because now, detectives can't speak to Brandon, but luckily, Brandon's parents are willing to tell them everything they know. Jeremy said to the officers that he could try and show them the general area that Aaron's body would be. And he explains that it's up by an old cemetery and that he could show him the road on a map. The investigator also took the opportunity to talk about Brandon. Jeremy explained they had brought him home from college because he was having anxiety attacks and having suicidal thoughts and visions. They said they brought him home so he would be safe until they could get him on the right medications. They then explained that morning, Brandon called them around 9 or 10 a.m. and was asking about alcohol and vomiting, and that was all they heard until Aaron's mom called them asking if they knew where Aaron was. After that call, they called Brandon asking him if he knew, but he had said no. Jeremy explained that Brandon was mentally unstable, that he had had Tourette's and OCD since he was a child, and that had been very challenging for him. Now, as this conversation is going on, officers expand their search around Collingwood Road and up by the cemetery where Jeremy had said the body was. And in the woods off Tumlin Drive, just 3 miles from the park, they discovered Aaron's body. He was buried under an uprooted oak tree in a shallow grave about a foot deep, and he was wrapped in the bedsheets from the room he was staying in. Forensic experts determined that Aaron had died from multiple stab wounds. There were around 40 punctures to his head, chest, and abdomen. And they also discovered that he had been dead about 18 to 20 hours when he was found. And his BYU Idaho student ID helped confirm his identity. Obviously, at this point, Brandon Risner was arrested and booked on multiple charges, which included malice murder, felony murder, aggravated assault and battery, concealing the death of another, abandonment of a corpse, theft by taking, and even misdemeanor removal of body parts. And because this crime was so severe, the judge denied him any bond.
Good idea.
Yeah. He obviously seems like, from the picture that his parents painted, does seem a little bit mentally unstable and obviously has already committed a heinous crime, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. Pretty unpredictable, that's for sure.
So over the next several weeks, police pieced together exactly what had happened. So in the early morning hours of November 11th, Brandon entered Aaron's room and stabbed him repeatedly, as we said, about 40 times. And after stabbing him, Brandon dragged Aaron into the bathroom and tried to mutilate him. A portion of Aaron's small intestine was removed during this act. He then forced Aaron's body into a suitcase and loaded it into the trunk of his own car. And evidence suggested that Aaron had actually been alive for much of this brutal attack. Digital forensics revealed some chilling internet searches on Brandon's phone afterward, such as how to clean blood out of carpet, does Walmart have duct tape, how to dispose of a body, and how long it would take for human remains to decompose. He also searched for cleaning supplies, blankets, sheets, and acid. Security cameras did later show him at Walmart buying duct tape, cleaning supplies, and other items. Investigators even found a post-murder to-do list on his phone. Items in that list included: to do when I get home, schedule the last 3 songs.
Yeah, he had written his own music and had a YouTube channel.
Oh, so just going about business as per usual.
Yeah.
Wow. The second item on that list was vacuum. The third was laundry. The fourth was shower in my shower. And the fifth was to take a bath. Then he had another one saying tomorrow. Number 1, text Rachel that Aaron threw up horribly. I think there was some blood in it. Number 2, I woke up and he was gone. He also searched for 10 tips for dealing with guilt. He also kept original song lyrics that hinted at violent, fatalistic ideas. One song written after the killing included lines like, and sorry guys, this is actually going to be pretty graphic. The lines were, he screamed till he choked on his own tongue and blood. His scream became a gargle as he swallowed his tongue. There was also another song written before the murder, and that contained lyrics such as, it doesn't matter what you do, go kill someone, go love someone, you can't plan the future, God decided it for you. Prosecutors also quoted statements he made from interrogations or phone notes describing how he felt. One read, I became a carnal animal like in a dream. I hid behind the pillar. The only emotion I felt was a surprise that I could have done it. I was a man with a plan. And as we know, Brandon did actually stop at an urgent care clinic that morning for cuts on his hands. Now, obviously, it probably wasn't from breaking a wine bottle.
I
Just
would
saying.
argue not.
Yes, and investigators believe that Brandon wrapped Aaron's body in sheets and duct tape before hiding the car at the park behind the levee. He then, they speculated, buried Aaron in the shallow grave under the fallen oak tree. Now, when confronted with all this information and what the investigators believed had happened, Brandon admitted disturbing details. He told investigators that after smoking cannabis and drinking, he began hearing voices and believed God told him to kill Aaron to prevent him from acting on forbidden urges. He said he felt it was destiny when Aaron decided to visit that weekend.
Now, I have to say, Bev, in this circumstance, obviously he was not in the best mental shape as one could be, but the question is, I think, is he saying this to create an insanity defense, or did that actually happen?
Right. I guess that is the question, right? His parents did paint a picture of somebody who was struggling with their mental health, but I will say for a plea of insanity, I do feel like you have to almost lose control at the time of the crime, but like there were notes on his phone and things that kind of indicated that he had been thinking of violent things or planning like some type of attack, for a while. Like he's a man with a plan. There was just like certain indicators that show that this was premeditated, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. So it does make you really wonder, like, how, like, what was his mental state at the time? Was he, with meds and slightly controlled, or was this an intentional homicide, right?
Yeah. Well, I will say that from the court's perspective, despite the statements that he made and what his parents had said in early 2024, he was deemed competent to stand trial. And you and I both know that when, like, to get that or to come to that conclusion, there has to be like a psychoanalysis on the person, right?
Yeah, it's not just a quick...
Or a psych eval.
Yeah, it's not just a quick determination, right? There's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah. So I would at least think that he was not insane at the time of the crime because of that simple fact there, Becky.
Agreed.
So this case never ends up going to a jury trial because in June of 2024, prosecutors announced that Brandon would plead guilty to all charges. In open court, he admitted to malice murder, multiple counts of felony murder, aggravated assault and battery, concealing a death, abandoning a body, theft by taking, and obstruction. Like obstruction of justice.
Yes. Like trying to hide the body.
Because he ran, tried to hide it. Yeah. A sentencing hearing followed on July 18th of that year. Prosecutors and defense attorneys recounted the graphic details of the killing, while family members from both sides gave emotional statements. The judge imposed the maximum penalty, life in prison without the possibility of parole. While Georgia law technically allows parole after 30 years in such cases, prosecutors and Aaron's family pushed hard for the harshest outcome, and the judge ultimately agreed. Now, kind of coming back to what we had said earlier about how these type of things affect both families, like when someone chooses to murder and take the life of somebody, there are so many ripple effects to that are truly devastating. And in this situation, because it was Aaron's best friend, there was a sense of betrayal behind it. And Aaron's loved ones were just completely devastated by what happened. At the sentencing, Aaron's fiance sobbed, saying, "I never got to say goodbye. I never got to hold his hand or touch his face one more time." While Aaron's mother had said that Brandon had been like family, someone who had slept at their home thousands of times. But when he murdered Aaron, she said, he also stabbed us in the hearts. saying, "We have been devastated by the evil actions of Brandon." Aaron's father, Randy Davis, spoke of shattered trust, saying, "How can we go on trusting anyone fully after witnessing someone we trusted so much murder and eviscerate my son?" The community also rallied. After Aaron's body was found, neighbors organized memorials, prayers, and a GoFundMe to help cover funeral expenses. At his family's church in Cumming, a service was held to celebrate his life. Friends posted memories online, one writing that Aaron had been, as we had said earlier, such a light, a philosopher even, an artist, and a hopeless romantic who inspired those around him. At the sentencing hearing, the courtroom was packed with supporters wearing heart stickers and carrying photos of Aaron. Even Brandon's own parents spoke, tearfully acknowledging their son's severe mental health issues while begging the court to understand they never imagined something like this could happen. But for Aaron's family, the loss is permanent. His siblings lost a brother, mentor, and playmate. His 12-year-old brother, Micah, who has autism, especially struggled with the loss. Their mother said Brandon's actions took away the cooler older brother from a child who depended on him. The Davis family continues to lean on their faith for strength. As they've said, their only comfort is the belief that they will see Aaron again someday.
Oh, Bev, are you crying?
A little bit, yeah. I'm feeling emotional about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the words of Aaron's family and as you said, even Brandon's family, it's just an emotional situation. You can tell that Brandon's family is carrying the weight of their son's actions and probably just appalled by it. And surely that's your son. You would feel some shame around that.
Mm-hmm.
I could only imagine,
Yeah, for sure.
And then hearing Aaron's dad say that he eviscerated his son. I don't know, that just it's so upsetting. It is such an interesting way to describe the loss.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it really captures the emotion behind it. One moment they're there and the next moment they're completely eviscerated from your life. It just got me, Becky. It just got me. It's a very sad case.
Oh, it's so sad. I couldn't imagine my best friend killing me or killing my best friend. You know what the hard part about this all is? We talk about motives so much in our podcast, and there's really no motive in this case other than just a little evil.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's better or worse. There's just no motive. And I almost think that if we have answers as to a real reason why someone does something, it doesn't make it better, but it makes it a little easier to at least know there was a reason why.
At least in that person's mind, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying it's right.
This one's just so confusing. Yeah, and it was just so confusing when someone kills just to kill, right?
Yeah, just a little evil.
It's hard for the average person to understand. But yeah, pretty devastating. So thanks for listening.
Thanks for sharing, Bev.
I love you hugely.
I love you too.
And just your weekly reminder to download our weekly episodes, follow us on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever streaming platform you listen to us on, and give us a follow on our social medias. You can find us at Luminol on the Wall. Can't wait till next week.